Hi there, I'm Clem from Integral Ad Science in Sydney, and welcome to our Programmatic Mini Series episode 2 on A/B testing. So, what is an A/B test? An A/B test is used by media buyers to determine if one technique or one variable works better than the other for increasing your return on ad spend or investment. This might be testing a different contextual segment, testing a different audience segment, testing a media partner versus another media partner, or any combination of the above, but trying to isolate what you're actually changing as much as possible so that when you've finished your test, you can actually say with confidence that that change that you made a positive or negative impact on what the results are, and take those learnings forwards. So I'm going to pass to Hayden, who's going to explain a little bit more on how to set a successful A/B test up.
Thanks, Clem. So I'm going to jump straight into a hypothetical here because I feel like it illustrates the value of A/B testing quite well. Say you're an automotive brand looking to increase test drive signups. You're already running a campaign with an existing audience, an audience targeting strategy, and you want to understand if layering on contextual targeting as well is going to make a meaningful difference to your test drive conversion sign-up rate. So this is a really good example of when an A/B test is going to be very useful for you because you've got already three of the most important components of the test. You've got a control group and an exposed group. The control group being your business as usual, your audience that you're used to targeting, and your exposed group being that same audience with that one variable being changed where we're layering in context into the targeting strategy. And you've also just got a single KPI, which makes A/B testing a much more robust testing approach. In this case, your single KPI is test drive signups. So once you've got all three of those elements, you need to go and actually set up your A/B test. My advice is to set up your A/B test in the DSP that you're doing your buying from. This is because that DSP is going to be best able to keep your two audience groups as separate as possible without any overlap. Now, in an ideal world, it'll be 50-50 in terms of the audience split, but understandably, that's not always possible, and your DSP will make a recommendation of what a fair split in terms of that audience is in order for those results to be statistically significant. So if you need any help setting up that A/B test in your DSP, my advice will be to reach out to your rep for that DSP. So once you've got the test in place, what's next? The most important two things are time and scale. I'm actually going to start with scale. Scale here is the size of the audience in the control group and the exposed group. That audience size is going to mean, or if it's large enough, is going to mean that your test results are statistically significant. A good way to visualize this is, say we only ran that test with 10 impressions in the control and 10 impressions in the exposed group. Your control group gets one conversion, your exposed group gets two conversions. You could very easily jump to the conclusion that your exposed test is twice as effective as your control. But in reality, we can't scale those 20 impressions to the millions of impressions and hundreds of thousands of people that would actually be in our campaigns. The next piece is time. Time is important for a couple of reasons. The first is making sure we're getting enough data to be confident in the result and to know that whether your control or your exposed group is going to be performing best for you in the long run. A rule of thumb, I should say, in terms of amount of time is about 2 weeks up to about a month for your A/B test. That way you're going to be able to control for those micro changes that you normally see in a campaign, things like the impact of time of day on results or even day of week on results, or even things like the weather. So you've got your test done, you've got your result, and you're going to make a decision. In what cases would you retest? Retesting is important for a couple of reasons. The couple that we see are changes to legislation and by extension changes to the product itself, which foundationally change the way that a targeting product might work. Now, you can go back and test again, and you might find that after these changes, what was previously a success in the control group is now actually a success in the testing variable, and so you want to change your strategy. And it's quite important to continue to retest whenever a major change happens to ensure you're allocating your advertising budget as well as you possibly can be. But that really rounds out why A/B testing is such a powerful tool for budget allocation, and I'm going to hand it back to Clem.
Fantastic, thank you very much, Hayden. So yeah, that pretty well sums it up. If you'd like to get in touch with Hayden or I, our emails are appearing on the screen at the moment. We can very well help you up with testing any of IAS's products, or if there are other, you want to test media partners versus media partners, SSPs versus SSPs, please get in touch with us and we can share our framework with you for setting up a successful A/B test, including, what level of scale needs to be included or a time recommendation or anything along those lines. Again, thank you very much for your time. Hopefully you've learned something, and arrivederci.
Thanks, guys. See ya.